Hey guys, it's Autumn here, and welcome back to the Painting People from Pinterest series. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these videos. At least it feels like it's been a bit. I think it's been a bit since I've recorded one, that's for sure. So today we are doing one based off of a trench coat. You may be wondering, Autumn, why are you doing it off of a trench coat? I thought this was about people. Well, you see, this trench coat was extremely gorgeous and I wanted to draw it because it's super flowy and pretty. So instead of drawing a person, we are drawing the trench coat from reference, and I came up with a character to put in the trench coat that kind of reminds me of Castiel from Supernatural. So the point of this video is I will be talking about my favorite TV shows, kind of, while also gushing about how much I love Supernatural and Castiel. So, if you guys don't know, I am on vacation right now while this video is going up, but I will respond to your comments on this video if you leave them. So, that order of business taken care of, let's get into why I decided I needed to paint a trench coat instead of paint a person this time. So, for those of you who don't know, because I'm fairly certain I don't talk very much about my favorite things, Supernatural is one of my favorite shows of all time. I started watching it sort of recently. I'd say about 4 years ago, I started watching Supernatural. I am completely caught up all the way to season 13, right? Season 13's, yeah, I think season 13 is the most recent season. Whatever the most recent season that's on Netflix is, I'm caught up on it. And for as long as I've watched the show, I've known about the character Castiel. Castiel is the most adorable angel of all time, and he wears a trench coat, and he is a dork and is fantastic. That's not to say I don't love, like, Crowley and Dean and Sam, but Cass and Crowley are by far my two favorite characters, or were my favorite characters. Sad faces over here. So when I saw this trench coat, I was like, oh, well, I don't draw fan art, because it's not something I'm very good at. The only fan art I've ever drawn is just literally copying pictures of Dipper and Mabel, Stan and Ford from Gravity Falls and painting them on canvas, because I'm a nerd, and trying to replicate journal number 3 as a sketchbook. That's something I probably will show in a video at some point, but for right now we're going to leave it as such, which is unshown and only heard about. So, instead of painting fan art, I decided to do something that was kind of inspired. So, behind her are shadows. They become very dark when I get to the background after I finish painting most of this piece, that are reminiscent of the scene in which we first truly meet Castiel in the barn covered in freaking devil's traps and all kinds of different things with Dean and Bobby. And he's got his wings, and the lightning kind of shows them as a shadow. I didn't want to explicitly be like, oh, this is femcast, obviously, I don't know what you're talking about. I wanted it to be more of a, well, it could be female Cass, or it could be a female angel who has taken to Castiel's style of wearing a trench coat. Because Cass wears his coat open, and there already is a female version of Cass, because what isn't there a version of in the Supernatural universe at this point? So it's loosely based on female Castiel, in that one episode that evades me other than they killed a person and Cass thought it was for good, but it wasn't. I have no idea. It's something like that. They killed someone. Cass was a girl for part of the episode because it was a flashback. But I loosely based it off of that, but not really, and I based it more off of, well, it could be that, but it could not be. Off of Supernatural, though, into other shows that are my favorites, I mentioned Gravity Falls, because that is another one of my favorites. If you remember the Cypher Hunt from summer 2016, I think. I followed that about as closely as you can follow something without actually being able to take part in it. Because I was in Maine when parts of it that occurred on the eastern side of the US were taking place, and I was in North Carolina when the parts that were taking place on the eastern side happened, but not in states that I was close to. So Gravity Falls is definitely one of my favorites. It's my favorite cartoon by far. My favorite cartoon from when I was younger is Kim Possible, because call me, beat me if you want to reach me. And I am a redhead, so seeing a redhead badass, and I know I don't swear very often, but I feel it's only necessary for this, destroy villains and all kinds of things, and just Draken and Shigo were fantastic villains, and I absolutely loved that cartoon. And let's see, what else did I have watched? Sherlock is also extremely fantastic. I've watched it a couple times while I've worked on pieces just because it's good background noise, and John and Sherlock are adorable, and it's great. And as much as I'm probably going to be shunned for this, I've only watched like 2 episodes of Doctor Who, and they weren't even like episodes that made sense to me. It's entertaining, but I feel like I need to start at a season where it's like from the beginning and I understand things, because I truly have no idea what's going on in Doctor Who at all, ever. Let's see. I think that's it for my top favorites at the moment. iZombie's really good. I wouldn't qualify it as one of my favorites. It's a good show to watch when it comes out. The Flash, Arrow, those shows kind of fall under. They're good, but they're not favorites. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. I always feel like I'm forgetting something. If I am, I'll put a list somewhere in the description of my favorite shows that I mentioned, and it's gonna kill me. What else am I forgetting? Oh, Invader Zim. That's what I'm forgetting. There's a print that I have. It's on my bookshelf, and I always remember it when I look at my bookshelf, and it's like, oh, I gotta get a frame for this. Invader Zim is one of my favorite cartoons of all time, and I cannot wait for that to get its TV movie, and it'll be great. And I will watch it forever. Star vs. the Forces of Evil is also pretty good. Wouldn't list it as one of my favorites, though. I think that's all I have to say about my favorite cartoons, though. So this piece, just watercolor. I used some of my metallic gel pens, and I tried some new things with the shadowing, kind of just layering, glazing effects sort of thing. And I did the same thing I did on the last piece that I did, the underwater one, where I wet the entire page first, and then laid down my base tones from there. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out another one over there, and if you want to see the full playlist for this series, check out over here. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!